Trivia List presents Top 10 Crazy Animal Races. Humans love a good competition. We love it so much that we even subject other animals to our twisted games. Watching sports is fun, but what about forcing animals to vie against each other for first place? Anything for a thrill. If there's a winner and a loser, you can bet on it, which means people have probably tried it at some point. We're gonna ease into this with two pretty normal races that when combined, become something completely different. At number 1, it's man versus horse. In Wales, every June since 1980, a 22-mile-long endurance contest takes place that pits men against a stronger and more agile group of horses. That didn't seem fair, so they let women and cyclists participate too. One of the bikers beat a horse in 1989, so take that, Seabiscuit. In second place with a silver medal is Hamster Racing. These adorable rodents get all guzzied up in race car driver outfits for a day at the Derby. The 30-foot course is a grueling battlefield of scampering feet and hamsters trapped in moving mini vehicles. It all started in 2001 when hoof and mouth disease put a hold on the movement of animals in the UK. Bookies needed something to keep their customers betting, so they came up with hamster racing. Mainstream media ate it up, and a new sport was born. Hopping into the podium at number 3 is cane toad races. Weekly races are held in North Queensland, Australia bars. The cane toads are an invasive species that were brought down under to kill cane beetles. It didn't work and the toads took over. But instead of letting the devastated ecosystem bother them, the locals decided to make the best of it and get the toads racing for their entertainment. Now, admittedly, hopping toads sounds pretty boring compared to the feathers and dust kicked up after an ostrich race. The big birds can really get going at speeds of up to 43 miles per hour. People actually ride these birds during the race, and participants say it's way more challenging than riding a horse. We believe them. The ostriches grow from 7 to 9 feet tall, and they're used for races in their native Africa and in the United States, where the races have been held for over 100 years. Halfway through the list of the craziest animal races is the yabby race. We know what you're thinking. What the heck is a yabby, and how do you race one? Well, it's another Aussie tradition where they catch crustaceans and paint a line in the gravel and see which one of the yabbies crosses it first. Sounds titillating. Man, those Australians really like their animal races. Coming in at number 6 are cockroach races, also invented in Oz. The story goes, 2 guys were at a bar in Brisbane arguing over whose neighborhood had the fastest roaches. Obviously, the only way to settle the score was to race them, and the world of competitive cockroach racing was born. In New Jersey, cockroach races are held as a way to predict the outcome of a presidential election, and that seems like an appropriate comparison. The number 7 race would really like to have a crossover with the cockroaches so they could eat them all and win by default. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we bring you lizard races. The reptiles are a quick bunch, and the tiny town of Ullo in Queensland, Australia is home to the Peru Lizard Racetrack, which holds annual lizard races attended by around 5,000 people who descend on the town of 70 residents. Everyone knows the story of the tortoise and the hare. Well, did you know there are actual turtle races? The notoriously slow-moving reptiles can put some pep in their step if they really want to. People even try wiring their brains with electric currents to get them moving faster, but PETA didn't like that very much. The first turtle race is said to have been held in Chicago in 1902, when 6 children rode the creatures across a lawn. Since then, turtle racing has grown into quite a spectacle, and the turtle racing capital of the world is Longville, Minnesota, where races have been held along the main road since the 1950s. Another outstanding animal race that made the list by a split second is goat racing. On the island of Tobago in the Caribbean, horse racing used to be reserved for the ruling class, so the normal folks were relegated to racing their goats. But now the unusual races have become part of the local flair. Buco Goat Race Festival is the longest-running goat race on the planet. It's currently sponsored by the Tobago House of Assembly's Department of Tourism. The races used to be held in the street, but it now goes down at the $100 million racing arena and stables known as the Buco Integrated Facility. Ready, steady, slow! If all the animals on our list raced each other, the number 10 spot would definitely come in last place. So here we are. Snail races are a real thing, and the annual World Snail Racing Championship has been going strong for over 25 years. Only native European garden snails are allowed to enter. and no giant foreign snails are allowed. Sounds a bit like an elitist event, but hey, who doesn't want to watch snails barely moving in a race to the finish? If you can stay awake, you can catch all the action. While some people might have a problem with taking advantage of animals for our entertainment, most of these crazy races seem like harmless fun. So harness up the nearest ostrich and get out to the racetrack. It's time to see who the fastest jockey on two bird legs is. And don't forget to subscribe after you cross the finish line and claim your trophy.